A parent who has a phlegmatic as a child keeps wondering that why is my child not easily motivated? Why is my child so quiet? Why is my child always taking things I count so important? Why is he taking it with levity? That is where you come in as a parent in understanding your child, understanding the temperament of your child. And mind you, your child reactions to issues, your child reactions to issues is not intentional. That is the way it's crafted. That is the way it's created. That is the way it's wired to react to issues. That is where you come in to understand the temperament of your child. You as a sanguine, you as a melancholy, you as a choleric, trying to understand why is my child not always counting things that I count so much important? Why is he not taking it as important as I also take it as? That is where you come in as a parent to understand your child's temperament. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I still remain Olashubomi. Here we discuss about raising intentional parents, discovering the potentials in your child, and raising faith-based homes. And on this podcast today, we are talking about understanding the temperament of your child. Understanding the temperament of your child. And yesterday, we discussed about the sanguine. And on today's episode, we are going to be moving on to the phlegmatic. And we are going to be talking about the phlegmatic from the toddler stage to the teenage years. Discovering if your toddler, your preteen, or your teenager is a phlegmatic, and how to manage their emotions, how to handle their reactions towards life. So, who is a phlegmatic? A phlegmatic is a peaceful and loving person. Is a peaceful and loving personality. A phlegmatic does not like staying where there is chaos. A phlegmatic does not like staying where there is chaos. A phlegmatic loves where there is peace. A phlegmatic avoids any form of disagreement, any form of misunderstanding. A phlegmatic also is a loyal person. Yes, a phlegmatic is a loyal personality, loyal to the core. Also, a phlegmatic has this quiet confidence but may not show it. Yes, a phlegmatic has this quiet confidence but may not show it. A phlegmatic can also be dependable. That is, people also depend on a phlegmatic because they are peace loving, because of their quiet confidence, because they are accommodating. Yes, they seek for where there is peace, they seek for where there is love, and they are loyal. And so a phlegmatic can also be dependable. That can stand as their weakness. They can be so dependent on people. And having talked about the phlegmatic, let's move to how can we discover if your toddler is a phlegmatic. How can we know if your toddler is a phlegmatic? Number one thing I'm going to say today is that a toddler who is a phlegmatic is quiet, has a quiet spirit, not unlike the sanguine. When a sanguine arrives in a particular place, everybody knows that, oh, the sanguine is here. But if a toddler who is a phlegmatic, or even when you take the toddler to a new place, he has this reserved nature that he stays quiet. He observe. Yes, a phlegmatic observe. So for instance, you took your toddler to a creche for the first time. Instead of crying like the sanguine or the choleric, instead of crying, oh, or throwing tantrums that he doesn't want to stay in that place, your phlegmatic can observe or even smile at the caregiver. Allow the caregiver to carry him or her. He will just be quiet. And a phlegmatic toddler plays by himself. Of course, he plays with other people, but if he's not accepted in a place, he stays with himself. He's okay, confident in being himself. So having talked about a phlegmatic toddler, so a phlegmatic toddler, like I said, is peace loving, as quiet, is peace loving, can be quiet, can be observant, he can play on his own. Yes, a toddler with a phlegmatic, you see them, decide to play on their own. Of course, they can play with other friends, but they play on their own. And another thing about them is also that they don't have these high emotions, like they don't get overly excited. Okay, let me see it that way. They don't get overly excited or when throwing tantrums, that like the unlike the sanguine that can be so dramatic about throwing tantrums. No, they don't get overly excited. They don't really express their emotions. Yes, they don't really express their emotions. Then we move to the preteen. How do we know that this preteen is a phlegmatic? So one of the ways by which you know if a preteen is a phlegmatic is that it's so friendly. Yes, a phlegmatic is also friendly. Yes, they are friendly and they are observant. And also, one thing about them is that they avoid conflict. When it comes to conflict, they avoid conflict. They can shift. Like I said, they are peace loving people and they don't want to stay in an environment where there is chaos, in an environment where there is argument. Yes, they avoid argument. They avoid argument. They can let it go. They can, even if it is in expense of hurting themselves, they can easily let it go. They avoid conflict. In a situation whereby you have two kids and the older one, the older one is quiet, is a phlegmatic, and the second one is a sanguine or choleric, or is sanguine or choleric, and the second one is more like um beating or bullying the older one. And you will see the phlegmatic, it may not even beat the younger one. Yes, it may not beat the younger one. It will just be like, let me leave him. And you as the parent, you'll be like, why are you not standing your ground as the older one? You have to show him that you are the older one. A phlegmatic is so peaceful to the extent that they avoid anything that comes with arguments. So you as a parent, you feel like, oh, your younger one is overriding you. You'll be beating the older one for the younger one. No, it's not right. You just have to calm your child down, the first child, sit him down or sit her down and explain to her that this is what you have to do. That's how you help them build their emotions. Because child reacting that way, your child behaving that way, your child not wanting to fight back or beat or show the younger one that she's the one that has the first authority here. Your child is not doing it intentionally. She's not doing it intentionally. That is the way she's created. That is the way she's crafted. That is the way she's wired. So you as a parent, that's where you have to come in to understand your child, sit her down and explain things to her. So like I said, for you to identify a preteen who is a phlegmatic, the first thing you have to know is that they avoid conflict. They avoid conflict. They are observant. Yes, they are reliable. They can depend on you. People depend on them, and they also depend on people. So how do we identify a teenager who is phlegmatic? One way by which you identify a teenager who is a phlegmatic is that they avoid confrontation. Yes, I said that for the preteen also. When they are in the midst of their friend, maybe something happened, maybe there is a misunderstanding. Instead of them to come out to come out and say that no, this is it, this is not, this is it, this is not right. They avoid arguments. Yes, they avoid argument. So they avoid anything that will take away their peace, anything that will cause them to show their emotions. They avoid confrontation. And another thing is that they are introverted. They can be quietly sociable, yes. They can be quietly sociable, but they are not like the sanguine. Yes, they are not like the sanguine. They are introverted. They can be inside all day. They can be inside all day, yes, just quietly indoor. So they are introverted. They are not the kind of person that speaks out even in a public. They don't really stand for themselves all the time. Yes, they don't really stand for themselves. They are introverted. So another way by which we can know if a teenager is a phlegmatic is that they are indecisive. Yes, they are slow in making decision. They tend not to decide quickly on a thing, on a particular thing they want to do. You will hear more of them saying, I don't know, maybe you should do it for me. I don't know. Yes, they are indecisive. So I said they are slow decision maker, they are slow decision maker, that is, they are indecisive, they are they avoid confrontation, and they are introverted. Yes, they are introverted. So how can we help them? How can we help them in their strength, in their weaknesses? How can we help them to manage their emotions, and how can we channel their gift to a positive way? So one way by which we can help them in their weakness is that teach them how to express their emotions. Yes, like I said earlier, that phlegmatic does not express their emotions. So teach them how to express their emotions. Teach them how to express their emotions when they are frustrated, when they are tired. Let them sit with them. They are your children. Sit with them. Let them tell them to tell you how they feel at that particular time. So teach them how to express their emotions. Another way we can help them is that encourage them to do small tasks. Don't pressurize them. And phlegmatic loves it when you encourage them in a quiet place. Yes, not in public. Yes, they love it when you call them to order, you and them alone, one-on-one discussion. Encourage them in those little tasks. Tell them that you can do it. Yes, I believe you. You can do it. You can go for it. Yes, and you will finish well. You can do it. Encourage them in those tasks, in those kind of tasks. Encourage them to do little tasks. Don't give them something long to do, because they get easily tired. Yes, they get easily tired in doing a long thing. They can be loyal, but when it comes to standing up to do something, they get those things that they can't they find it difficult to do, like standing on something, standing on a decision. Help them to decide and give them time to decide. Yes, give them time to decide on what they want to do. Don't be in a haste. Yes, don't be in a haste to want to hear what they want to do. Give them time to decide, and in giving them time to decide, so that they will not just sleep on it, make sure you check up on them and let them know that you are in this together. Let them know that you are waiting their response. But don't do it in a pressurized way. And always let them know that decision they make, you know that it's going to be the best decision and it's going to work out for them. Yes, give them a positive response continually. Give them a positive response, and always let them know that any decision they take, any step they decide to work on, any step they decide to take, that they always come out well in it. So always make sure you follow through them, even when you want them to decide on a thing, even though you don't want to give them a lot of pressure. Always follow through with them. So here is one thing. It is phlegmatic sometimes procrastinate a lot. Yes, a phlegmatic sometimes procrastinate a lot. But when you are always there, like when you are consistent in checking up on them. So how do we discover their potentials? Number one thing I would say is that observe what they do. Observe their natural strength. Observe their quiet strength. Then give them skills in line with that strength. Give them skills in line with what they have passion for, what they are passionate about. Give them skills. It may not be something so extravagant, just something little. And observe the way they will put effort into it again. If they are doing it with all their enthusiasm, then that is something you have to work on. Then a phlegmatic can also be a leader. Yes, can also be a leader when you help them, when you groom them in their emotions, especially in them procrastinating. Yes, a phlegmatic can also be a leader when he's well groomed in the aspect of procrastination, telling them to do the needful at the right time in a calm way. Then also place them in a calm and supportive environment. Place them in a calm and supportive environment. Celebrate their progress, celebrate their natural strength. Yes, and don't make them choleric and don't make them sanguine. Don't make your child choleric. Don't compare your child with another person's child, or your child with his younger brother or the older one. Don't make them choleric. Don't make them sanguine. Celebrate their quiet strength, them being loyal. Celebrate it. Celebrate them being peaceful, their loving personality. Celebrate it. And celebrate their little progress, every progress they make to become better. Celebrate it. So having talked about all of these, having talked about how to discover them, celebrating their strengths, watch their quiet interest, and place them in a supportive environment. And having said all this, I want you to also reflect on the word, get to know your child, get to know your child, sit with them, get to understand their reactions. And like I said at the beginning of this video, that your child's temperament is not intentional. The way your child is reacting to issues is not intentional. That is the way he or she is crafted. That is the way your child is created. That is the way your child is wired by God. So please, parents, get to know your child. Don't compare your child with any other person. Help them to manage their emotions in the best way. And I guarantee you that every hidden potential in them will come into full manifestation. So please do well to watch this video, understand the words, reflect on the words, every direction that has been given in this video. Follow through, follow them, and I know that everything that your child is called to be will surely be. Like I said earlier, we talk about raising intentional parents on this podcast, and we also discover the potentials in our children, and we also talk about raising faith-based home. And we are still on this show talking about understanding your child's temperament. Yesterday we talked about the sanguine, today we talk about the phlegmatic, and tomorrow we are moving to the choleric. And I would love you to tell a friend, because it's a must to watch for you to know and discover the potentials in your children. Every child is crafted and gifted by God. The Bible says that every good and perfect gift cometh from God. So every child is a gift from God. And I know that everything that God has called them to be, they will surely be. Like I said earlier, I still remain Olashu for me. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day ahead. Bye.